TimeSplitters is back. Do you want to take this, Swinny?
Yeah, I'll take it. So we had this week a very surprise announcement. I don't know if there was any previous reporting leading up to this, but Deep Silver announced that they're bringing back the cult classic TimeSplitters franchise, headed up, and this is honestly probably the most surprising part of this, by a reformed Free Radical design. So for anybody that's not familiar with the TimeSplitters franchise, and I don't blame anyone because the last game in the series is probably older than a lot of our listeners, in 1999, members of the Goldeneye 007 and Perfect Dark teams in Rare, including some key people by the name of Steve Ellis and David Doak, they left Rare to form Free Radical Design. And TimeSplitters was the first game that they put out, and it was developed by 18 people. They made 3 games in the series. So the first game, TimeSplitters, came out in 2000, was on PS2. I remember there was a huge hype when that game came out because it was basically like the PS2's got its Goldeneye, was the kind of the thing that people were pushing at the time. TimeSplitters 2, which went multi-platform 2 years later for PS2, GameCube, and Xbox, which is a game that I fondly love and picked that up for GameCube. And TimeSplitters Future Perfect, which came out 3 years after that, also for PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. And at that point, the series went dormant. So TimeSplitters 4 was in development for about a year, around 2008, 2009, by Free Radical Design, but they couldn't find a publisher. The project was put on hold. Free Radical Design went into administration and were bought out by Crytek. And at that point, the project was, pretty essentially cancelled. And there's been a lot of small buzz here and there about when, TimeSplitters franchise or the IP has changed hands a few times since then, when we could potentially see another game in the franchise, and we're here now. So this will be the first new game in the series since that 2005 game, and the new Free Radical Design will be headed up by the founders of the original.
Awesome.
So Steve Ellis, David Doak, which is fantastic. And there may be more people involved as well, but they're 2 of the names that I'm seeing confirmed out there. But work on the sequel is actually yet to start, so it's going to be a while away. Obviously, they just really wanted the fact that they're putting together a new studio. As soon as Free Radical Design reformed, people will be like, "Wait, what's happening?" So they need to get out there ahead of it. So there's no platforms or release date confirmed yet, but yeah, I'm super pumped about this. I love TimeSplitters 2. For anyone that's curious about what kind of game it is, I mean, obviously it's a first-person shooter, but they got really creative. It's a very tongue-in-cheek. The name itself, TimeSplitters, meant that each level they could be in a new time period and with different kinds of weapons. Like I remember in number 2, one of my favorite levels was like set in like a gangster era Chicago, I think it was, and you had like a Tommy gun and stuff. And it was also really, really well regarded for its multiplayer, just like you'd consider based on the legacy of Goldeneye and that. And I know with TimeSplitters 2, you actually had a level creator, so you could make your own multiplayer maps. And in the GameCube era, that was really
cool,
unique. Yeah, and it's kind of a feature that has kind of died out. I know there's some, obviously on the PC, people do this stuff all the time, but in the console space, there's not that many games. Like I know the Far Cry games have done this stuff, and obviously Halo, and I think Doom, the new Doom games as well, at least the first Doom reboot. But so I hope they bring all that stuff back. This could potentially be a really, really good, a really, really cool, multiplayer experience for people as well. So yeah, really, really great news. It's one of those bright spots in the week. Like, oh man, TimeSplitters is coming back. That's great.
Well, I mean, coming back. This is, given that they're announcing this is about trying to get people in the team and get people who, like you said, I guess maybe grew up on it and are now at graduate plus age, and they're sort of like, oh my god, I could be developing TimeSplitters 4. How cool is that? So this is like 3 to 4 years away, you'd say.
Oh yeah. Like easily. But it's just great to have stuff to look forward to. I'm kind of surprised, maybe because it was talked about maybe the need for the hiring, but this would have been a fantastic E3 announcement. I don't know if Deep Silver or I think Koch Media or Koch Media or whatever they're called. I don't know if they've got any plans at E3. I haven't confirmed that, but this would have been an amazing E3 announcement to make.
So I don't know how people are taking to these teaser, like title teasers. where it's like basically, hey, this is actually 3 to 4 years away. I don't mind it personally, but
Yeah, just don't
Yeah,
get our
it's-
hopes up. I mean, can you see how excited Swinny is for this? If
Yeah,
Deep
but he's
Silver
realistic,
screw this
though.
up, I don't know.
yeah, but he's realistic. He knows it's 3 to
I
4
know.
years away. So
Well,
not many other people are. Like
hopefully
people,
3 to 4 years away if it doesn't, nothing else happens.
I'd see all these people talking about Elder Scrolls 6. It's like, oh, is that coming out this year or next year? I'm like, whoa, are you
I saw-
insane? Like,
I saw a comment about Starfield and people like, why is this game taking so long? Just chuck spaceships in Fallout. It's like,
I wonder if they're going to redo the entire engine, though. As in, I don't think they're going to keep using the same engine, right? Are they?
right, all right, we're going.
We're
We're
probably
yeah,
getting a
we've
little-
got to clarify. Are we now talking about Starfield again?
No, we're talking about Time
No.
Splitters.
So just with TimeSplitters, I have to say, like, this game totally passed me by, but watching the footage,
Boom
it's
tish.
so crazy how, like Perfect Dark / Goldeneye it is.
Oh, yeah,
it's so
but
insane. It's
the
like
the very first level of TimeSplitters 2 was basically like a love letter to GoldenEye. It was set in it wasn't like the dam, but it was basically, this is the GoldenEye level.
Yeah.
It's the first level of the game.
That's so funny. It really does feel like almost a knockoff, but then you go, oh, it's all the team, so it's not. It's just them. So
And look, Free Radical, they went on to make games like Haze and Second Sight, that especially Haze was not a well-received game. So it's not like everything they touched was gold, but people did love the TimeSplitters games.
yeah. All right, well, let's get on to our next bit of news.